Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. I want to do a review as I feel it warrants a review of its own without my commentary or my opinions or me talking about Charles Spurgeon himself. But let's just talk about this Bible. This will be the one I share. If you guys want to see the one with commentary, it'll be on my page. That's just me talking about Spurgeon. But here's the box it comes in. This is the KJV, not the CSB version. Very nice looking box. Tells you a little bit about Charles Spurgeon and the features of the Bible. Here's the features real quick. Study notes adapted from Spurgeon sermons, introductory biography of Charles Spurgeon, extracted sermon illustrations placed alongside the associated biblical text, sermon notes and outlines in Spurgeon's own handwriting, Spurgeon quotes inserted throughout the Bible, book introductions with insights in Spurgeon's own words, topical subheadings, 2-column text, Concordance, Smithsonian binding, some do say Smithsonian, presentation page, and full color maps. So, yeah, if you want to know anything about the other review, just go ahead and watch that. But this is particularly about the Bible. This is leather touch. It's not real leather, obviously, but it's really well done. It feels authentic enough. There's perimeter stitching. The overlay is just absolutely beautiful. The spine's beautiful with Charles Spurgeon's signature in gold, stamping, and the Spurgeon Study Bible, King James Version, Holman. Now this hub here is kind of tooled in. It's kind of inset into the spine. You can grip that. So again, the cover's really well done in my opinion. Ribbons aren't the best, but I mean, nothing a quick pass with a lighter won't fix of the threads loose there. Again, for the price point, it's $40-something on Amazon. I'll put that in a link below. If you want the link to CSB and all the other links for this Bible, you can go to the other review and watch it, or just look at the description below that video and grab that. You don't have to watch the whole video. But anyways, this is not edge-lined, as you can probably already knew, just because it is a leather touch. It is not edge lined. It's paste down binding, done pretty good. It's like a cardstock, so I don't think this would hold up for many years by any means, but it'd be an amazing rebind. I'll show you here in a minute. Here's a presentation page, pretty simple. The title page is Spurgeon Study Bible, King James Version, Holman Bibles. Here's the copyright page. It is printed in China, but you will not notice it's just like the Premier series of the NKJV or the NIV. I would compare it more with the NKJV because this is indeed line matched, and I'll show you that here in a second as well. So the Spurgeon NKJV, or the Spurgeon KJV Bible has a copyright of 2018. The Concordance in the Bible from Holman is 2012. Here's some ISBNs if you want to pause that and see the different covers. Go right ahead and do that. You can get the ISBN numbers as well. Books of the Bible contents, additional material. So it has a Spurgeon biography by Alistair Begg. Lost Sermons, Spurgeon study notes. And the Lost Sermons, it just tells you what pages they are in. So here's the biography of Charles Haddon Spurgeon. And I actually read this after I did the other review, and it is really, really informational. The Lost Sermons of Spurgeon here will tell you where they're at. And I'll show you an example on page 4, Genesis 3:15 here in just a moment. Spurgeon study notes tells you about them. The Spurgeon quotes, and I will show you how those work as well. It's pretty cool actually. So here's 1, 2, 3 3¼ pages full of his quotes alone and where you can find them, and they're double column. So there's a lot of notes throughout this Bible, and it's not horrible. I'll give you the measurements again, just in case you don't want to watch the other long video. And Spurgeon illustrations here. The illustrations are a lot like the notes in the bottom, but there'll be a big chunk and the up by the text. There'll be a big old box, and it'll have pretty much anything like the quotes. Preface to the Spurgeon Study Bible, the Old Testament title page, and then you get into Genesis. Introduction to Genesis. So it shows you the circumstances of writing, contribution to the Bible, structure, and Spurgeon on Genesis. So I'll give you a little bit of his commentary on Genesis as well. So right off, we have a quote right here. 13:4 is his handwriting. It's kind of like, so his quotes will show you. Quote 1, 3 through 4. So this is a quote on Genesis 1, 3 through 4. So you go down here, 1, 3 through 4, and it'll start reading, and then it'll go up through. Once it starts doing red, that'll be this. And I'll read you that way you can read the text down at the bottom and see what he's written in the cursive, just in case it's hard for you to read, because as you can see, there's long S's and stuff. So how there was light before there was any sun, for the sun was not created until the 4th day of the week. It is not for us to say, but God is not dependent on his own creation. He can make light without a sun. He can spread the gospel without the aid of ministers. He can convert souls without any human or angelic method. For he does as he wills in the heavens above and on the earth beneath. Spurgeon was quite the man, the prince of preachers, as many have dubbed him, obviously. So you get quite a bit of his commentary, his notes and stuff. So here's the thing I was going to show you, the first promise. This is his sermon here that he wrote out. And here again, it'll be in his handwriting to the left. And if you can't read that, obviously they put it in plain print for us. Another thing I want to touch on is the font size. I would call it an 8. This is an 8 with a 9-point leading. So as you can see here, and it has some decent margins in it, really, this Spurgeon Study Bible. So they match right up if you get them right on top of each other. So I would definitely call it an 8-point font. But it's a readable 8-point font, because the leading on this probably is just as much as this, if not a little bit more. Actually, I would say a little bit more. So I would say an 8 with 9.5 to 10-point leading. So, and then the margins are actually fairly generous. I mean, somebody that takes a little notes and writes little cross references, you could do that on this cross references. It's right at 3/4 of an inch of a margin. So 3/4 inch margin there. That's pretty darn good. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys because, like, here's an introduction to Exodus, and again, you'll have the circumstances of writing. You'll have contribution to the Bible, structure, and Spurgeon on Exodus. That'll be at the beginning of each book. That was Alistair Begg that has set this up. Did a really nice job. This is really beautiful, guys. This Bible is just absolutely amazing. You can see the readability there. And if I get closer, it is perfectly line matched in all places here. As you can see here. The subheadings are going to not be completely line matched, but that doesn't, we're talking about text here. And there is a lot of subheadings. I compared this with my NKJV, and this actually has more subheadings. It breaks the text up more and tells you what you're about to read. So if you were looking for something specific, this would be a great Bible to have on you. I think this would be a great Bible to take to church. And then I'll show you the poetry section here too in a second. It's not horribly big. Poetry section, I'll do the measurements at the end. The poetry section I want to show you just because of the pilcrow. And if you don't know what a pilcrow is, it's these marks here that show you that a new sentence, paragraph, new line starting. So whereas most KJVs, I got the Westminster here as reference, comparison. Proverbs 17. If you go to Proverbs 17, you'll notice you don't have any Pilcrows here. That's how most KJVs do not contain the Pilcrow in the poetry section. Some may once in a great while, but as you can see here, no Pilcrows. This does contain Pilcrows. Prove it to you there. This is definitely less ghosting than that Bible even. But if you can see, much like the NKJV or NIV or the newer versions will put a space here, they just put Pilcrows at each new beginning of a proverb. So that's actually a nice touch, if you ask me, putting Pilcrows like that. Kind of classy looking. They could have separated it, obviously, made it more modern, but the use of the Pilcrow is good enough, and they killed it with that. I love it. It's amazing. And then if you notice, the red for the chapters are red. His letters are red. And then again, red down here where it shows you what it's written up here for his quotes. Just really well done. Beautiful. This is like almost a rose color, these pages. Now in the CSB, I think somebody said it was a gray or a light blue. I'm not sure. You're more than welcome to look up a review on the CSB Spurgeon, but this one definitely has a rose color to it. The darker rose color for the sermons. Again, you got the red up here, sermon number 76 of this Bible. Can two walk together unless they are agreed? Absolutely amazing and useful. I did originally, I said, KJV and NKJV are equal in my book, but at the same time, I have actually taken a leaning toward the NKJV, but I could definitely see me using this. I would like to see a Spurgeon in an NKJV. That would be an amazing, amazing thing. Maybe Holman will do that down the road. But right now, I find this very useful. I've already looked through it, thumbed through it, and I can't get enough of it already, guys. This is going to be an amazing... Charles Spurgeon was an amazing man. Again, he earned every bit of the Prince of Preachers title he had and has still to this day. Again, that rose color is just beautiful. And it's coming through on the camera pretty well. It's a little bit more pinky looking on the camera maybe. But it's definitely a rosish color, and it has the red. You can see the red that they use. It stands out on it, so you can tell it's definitely a rose color. Definitely readable. And I wanted to show you because they got these introduction books, and I've noticed that these are all line matched too with the text. Most Bibles won't do that. Obviously, Jonah won't be. But if you can look, perfectly line matched here. See? Absolutely amazing Bible, guys. I think that's about all the points I had to touch on. Was just sermon notes, the quotes, the illustrations. I don't know if I've really pointed one out yet. I will find one again here. They're all throughout as well. There's an illustration, and it'll be on Luke 15, 3 through 4. And it's totally different. It's just different. Absolutely amazing. Now, I don't know if the illustrations are line matched. The illustrations will not be line matched, but everything else is. The illustrations and his quotes won't be line matched, but the text is, even in the introductions, they're line matched with the following page. So this is just an amazing Bible. Very readable, as you can see. It's amazing. Minimal ghosting. Here's the Concord by Cambridge. Very comparable in print. And the print. I wanted to show you the print. First, we'll get past this and show you the Concordance is very extensive. Again, in that beautiful red. And this is not a red letter. It is a black letter. I will also tell you that. Prove that to you here with Matthew. See, definitely black letter. Nothing wrong with that. It's amazing. This is an amazing resource. If you're a Baptist, you definitely got to have this. I'm a Reformed Baptist, so I definitely love some Spurgeon. Nicely done. Kudos to Holman for not using glossy. These are matte finish. Very nice maps. And I will show you again the Smythe sewn like I always do. There you go, right down the gutter there. So there's your maps, and then we'll go back to the font. I meant to do that at the beginning, but you've probably seen it if you paused the copyright or were reading along with me, but it's 2K Denmark. Interior of the KJV Spurgeon Study Bible was designed and typeset by 2K Denmark. Proofreading was provided by Peachtree Editorial Services, Peachtree City, Georgia. So yeah, it's an amazing resource. Keep giving you a few shots here before I cut this off. Another 15-minute video, but well worth it. This one deserved its own attention without my commentary about Spurgeon and all that stuff. 16-minute review, worth it. Actually, it's worth more because I could go through here and tell you. And one other thing real quick, when you are reading these, they won't go straight across like most study Bibles. They won't read straight across. They'll read in columns. So the commentary, his quotes on 19:24 through 25 and Isaiah, all of them, every one of his quotes will read like this, like in columns, and then continue here and then go over here. I don't know what the reason for doing that. I don't mind it. I think it actually adds to it, keeps it columnized. It's nice. Again, thanks for watching. God bless. I love you guys.